Welcome back to my channel. This is Kodak FC Teammates. There are a number of categories I've asked my teammates to vote on. The categories are quickest, slowest, the biggest joker, the nutmeg king, most skillful, player's player, teacher's pet, most vain, hard man, loudest in training, loudest during the game, the worst trainer, the best trainer, and the biggest moaner. Let's get into it. The contenders for the quickest players are Romario with 6 votes, Paps with 3, Carlos with 2, and Dante with 1. Warren thinks Romario can run 100% during games because he doesn't put the nets up and misses 90% of the warm-up because he's always late. The gaffer thinks Paps' recovery runs puts him in contention in this category, but a winner by a mile is Jerry with 11 votes. These are the contenders for the slowest players at Kodak. George gets 1 vote, Tony gets 2, I get 5, and Big Al tops the poll with 7. Warren thinks Big Al looks like he's carrying a fridge on his back while he's running. Commiserations, Big Al. Thank you for being a good sport. According to everyone, the biggest joker at the club is Tom with 8 votes. According to Zach, the man does not have an off switch. The gaffer thinks he is the clown of the team, keeping the banter going. Warren points out that Tom's disturbing comments are expected on a weekly basis. George and Miles are joint second with 2 votes. Tony has never known anyone who brags about their goals that they score in training like Miles. For the Nutmeg King, there are 4 nominees for this category. In reverse order, Dante has 1, Carlos has 4, Big Al has 5, I win with 8. Sorry Zach for the constant whoopsie comments and for getting on your nerves, George. Now for the most skillful player. We have many skillful players at Kodak, so it's quite hard to choose from for everyone. Dante, Miles, Jerry and Zach have 1. Hendrix has voted for Big Al and thinks he should still be up front instead of playing centre back. Prince and I have 2 votes, Mario has 3. A clear winner with 5 votes is Carlos. The gaffer says he has very good technical ability and can be a real threat. Now on to player's player. Paps and Tony have 1 vote, Zach and Liam with 2. Warren thinks that Liam is an absolute house and commits 300 fouls a game. In second place is Warren with 3 votes. Zach reckons Warren is the player's player all day. George mentioned that he is our only keeper, which is true. Edging to first place by a narrow margin is Prince with 4 votes. The Teacher's Pet Award undoubtedly goes to George, with an astonishing 10 votes. Zach thinks George loves paperwork, and Warren joked that he hasn't washed his face from the last time he caught brown-nosing the manager. But thank you from all of us for collecting the match fees and sorting out the kit. So now we move on to who is the most vain, and some of you voted for yourselves.
You serious?
Joint first place are Jerry, Dante and Tony with 3 votes each. The gaffer's tie-break comment about how Dante's hair looks good puts him in first place. On to the hard man now. George, Liam and I have 1 vote each. Labby has 3 votes. Big Al has lost count of the hard tackles, red cards and fights Labby has got into. And Zach would hate to be at the end of a tackle from Labby at full pelt. Al has 3 votes, but the winner with 5 votes is level-headed Tony, who is always there when you need him at the back. George would love to see someone hit the deck with one of his big shoulder barriers. Advice from the gaffer, not many people can knock him off the ball, and when he is angry, you should run. Now the loudest in training. Miles, Warren, Tom and I all have 1 vote. Romario and Liam have 2 votes. Sorry George, the winner with 4 votes is you, as the loudest in training. Probably because I'm always trying to nutmeg others in training and you're always yelling at me. Big Al thinks you talk the most amount of and Zach feels you're so flipping annoying. Now moving on to the loudest during the game. Dante thinks we're all too quiet, which I kind of agree with. The winners in this category are Tony and Warren with 3 votes apiece. Tony often hears Warren shouting at the back line or the midfielders for some reason. Jermaine and Liam get 2 votes each, and George complimented Liam for being a good talker. With 1 vote each is Hendrix and George. Big Al commented that Hendricks is always shouting or arguing with someone, but the classic is George's foul him, foul him. If you haven't checked out that video already, it'll be down in the description below. Definitely another wooden spoon award. Let's see who the worst trainer is. Warren, Big Al, Hendricks, Mikey, Carlos, Tony and I all have one vote. Apparently, the elusive Big Al and Hendricks need to improve on their attendance at training. Zach and Miles are watching you. Mikey gets a vote only because, according to the gaffer, although Mikey's endless fitness is impressive, he needs to work technically. Carlos, mate. Warren has never seen you run when you haven't got the ball at your feet, and you seem to get injured during every running drill. Tony says, if you sense there is a bit of disorganisation in the session, your body language shows it. Or the Ronda at the beginning of the session trying to nutmeg people. I'm sure you can guess who that is. Tony gets one vote from George for the obscene difference in performance between training and on a match day. Dennis narrowly wins the worst trainer award with 2 votes, with Big Al commenting that Dennis is a lazy little. Well done to Warren, Zach, Tony, Paps, Craig, Romario, George and Mikey, who get 1 vote for the best trainer. George complimented that Craig always gives 100%. The gaffer thinks Romario works hard during training. Big Al has noticed that Mikey is happy to run more than anyone else and trains by himself before training. In joint first place are Dante and Prince with 2 votes each. Well done to Warren for noticing Dante has turned up on time each week. Now we move on to the final award, the biggest moaner. Finally, the gaffer makes it onto the list.
Stop watching players run across you every game. No urgency. No one wants it enough. Why?
He gets 1 vote from George for being grumpy unless we get the 3 points. Romario and Jermaine are in second with 2 votes each. The gaffer thinks Romario blows hot and cold sometimes and is always laughing and joking in training. Other times, he barely talks to anyone.
Sad times, pay the fact sheet to be lying and sit down. Man. And a fresh gym.
The winner for this category is George, by a narrow margin of 4 votes. Big Al wonders why George is constantly moaning about the kit. Another kit-related comment from Zach, when people don't pay their match fees on time or borrow the shorts and socks for too long. Tony wonders if George's weekend will be ruined if we won the Champions League and someone put their shorts in the wrong way round in the kit bag. All jokes aside, George, thank you for sorting the kit week in, week out and for putting up with us. If you enjoyed this type of video, comment down below what you would like to see next. Please like, subscribe, and see you later for more. No one likes to be nominated Mrs. 90%. Hendricks has voted.